Hi there! Thanks so much for tuning in for today's Drawing for Youth class. This class is offered as a partnership between the Ann Arbor Art Center and the Ann Arbor District Library. Today we're going to be drawing 2-point perspective Lego block drawings. This is a slightly advanced drawing project, so for those of you that are under the age of 8 or so, definitely give it a try, but know that it is advanced. So if you find yourself struggling a little bit, don't worry and just relax, enjoy, and do your very best, and maybe just focus on coloring. If you happen to have Legos, I highly recommend grabbing a few Legos that might be around your house and setting them up so that you can look at those for inspiration. I think it's always fun to draw from a real life object, even though I'll be showing you a very technical approach to drawing these Legos. So grab a pencil and a piece of paper, and we will color these with probably colored pencils or crayons or something where we can do a little bit of shading later on, but we're just gonna need a pencil and a piece of paper along with a ruler or some other form of a straight edge. So you can see here a little bit about how we're going to be doing this and where we're going to be heading. I will describe the process in full detail for you. So don't worry and just follow along. Feel free to pause the video at any point necessary. Alright, so we're going to start by drawing a straight line towards the top of your paper. On that straight line, you're going to draw 2 vanishing points, and that is because we're doing 2-point perspective. From there, we are going to start drawing our object. We'll start with a straight vertical line, and then what we will do from there is we will take the top point of our line and draw a line that connects the top of our little vertical line there to our vanishing points. So you can see the way that I'll go from the right side first and then the left side. Depending on how long you want your Lego to be, you'll just kind of cut it off at some point and draw another line that is in between that space between that initial line we drew and the one to the dot. So in that space you can draw another line that kind of chops off the Lego, and that is where the Lego ends. Now from the top of that little line you'll do the same thing we did, but this time you don't have to go to the side that it's on. So if it's the one that's on the right, you don't have to draw another line that goes to that dot, because we already kind of did that and then erased that line, because of course the Lego is not that long, right? It doesn't go all the way. So instead we'll just kind of make it crisscross to that other side, to the left side for the one that's on the right, and for the one that's on the left we'll make it go to the one on the left. And then the point where they intersect, where those lines meet, that's the back corner of our Lego. From there we erase any additional lines that we have that is outside of our little rectangular prism Lego. You can also see that I added an extra line about halfway through that block to make it look like there's 2 Legos stacked on top of each other. Now I can go ahead and add on another Lego stacked right on top. So you can see the way that I'm approaching this in a very similar way as before. Slightly different angles there, but pretty much the same. So I'm going to keep drawing more Legos so that you're able to see what it would look like if I kept adding more. There is going to be a lot of erasing, so you can see the way I'm doing that, and I'm not even erasing mine fully so that you can kind of see those lines that go and lead to that vanishing point, just for extra help. So don't worry if you have a lot of eraser marks, it's gonna happen. This is a good way of just kind of practicing to get the hang of everything and move on to doing maybe a cleaner one where you don't have to necessarily cut through the objects that you've already drawn, and you can just kind of line your ruler up with that point, with each point, and then draw kind of an imaginary line that cuts through those objects, but don't actually press down until you get to the vanishing point, or however you want to do it. So you can start to see eventually as you do this that you can add more detail. So if you want to add those little pegs on the Lego, the top of the Lego, that make it look like an actual Lego rather than just blocks, feel free to do that, but you also don't have to. You can just keep practicing making Legos look like realistic and 3D. So the next step is going to be to do some shading. So I am pretending like my light source is coming from the upper right corner, which means that the right side and the top part of my Legos are going to be a little bit lighter than the other side. So my left side, you can see I'm pressing down harder and using maybe some darker colors to layer on to make that a little bit darker on that side. So you can see the way I've colored that. I'm just going to draw a couple extra Legos that's separate from the other Legos that I see that I've already, or that you see that I've already drawn, just so that you can see another little round of Legos and building it and stacking it. But build your own Legos if you have it. If you have them in person, try to draw, build them however you want, and then try drawing that. It'll be a lot of fun to do it that way. I also just recommend pausing the video. The more that you do them, the more you'll get the hang of it. But it does take a couple minutes to really get the hang of it, so be patient with yourself. Also, I didn't mention this before, but obviously you can see me kind of erasing the Lego that's underneath, because unless I have a see-through transparent Legos, then I wouldn't really see the Lego, like the back of the Lego that's underneath the other one. So you can see the way that I am doing, like I said before, a lot of erasing. So once again, be patient with yourself. It's a process. It takes some time to really get used to it. So don't worry about it. We're not going to worry about those little Lego, the top, the pegs, being in perspective, so you can see the way I'm just loosely sketching that in. That's a whole nother days of a little lesson there, so don't worry about it. But here's an example of what those little shapes look like. They're little cylinders. So after you do that, you can color it however you want. If you want to do something fun in the background that helps kind of cover up some of those pencil eraser parts that you didn't quite erase, it'll be really fun to do that. So I hope you have fun with this.